Okay, here we go. We're recording on the cloud. So again, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. But look, if you're not having a good month or a great month or any kind of a month, chances are that you are getting caught up in what's happening in the real world. And that's understandable. I totally get it. I totally understand how you could get caught up in all of that. I mean, you can't get away from it. I mean, you really have to purposefully shut some of this stuff off in order to be able to function, seems like. Because everywhere you look and anybody you talk to, they're talking about how horrible things are and how horrific things are. And they are, but not in here, not in Primerica. We are doing amazing. And by the way, our fortune is not, it does not diminish the misfortune of others. And we're not here to put that down and say, ha, ha, ha. It's not about that. Our fortune is our fortune. And we're not doing it by hurting anybody. We're not doing it at the expense of anybody. It's just that we are so fortunate to be in the greatest business in the history of American business. That when the world is falling apart, we get the opportunity, not a guarantee, nothing's a guarantee, right? We get the opportunity and we get the chance to build our businesses and continue to grow our businesses. I'm going to talk a little bit this morning about the order of which you want to start doing things, and then I'm going to bring up our first speaker. So first speakers, be ready. Okay. All right. Let's see. How do I do this? Let me see if I can just switch this real quick. All right. And then I'm gonna see if this thing. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm sure you can. All right. Everything starts with getting an IBA. Okay. Oh, let's see. Let's turn that around. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. Now it's better. Okay. So everything starts by getting an IBA. Now, people ask me all the time, they go, Alex, what's my next step after I get the IBA? Okay, I think there's such a misunderstanding. All right, let me tell you how I did it. Let me tell you how I built this business. All right, and I'm sure you guys can hear me okay, by the way. If you can, if somebody go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I know that you guys can hear me okay. All right, the next thing is field training. All right, good, yeah, good. All right, thank you. Thanks, Leandro. All right, so field training. And in the field training, there's the field training bonus. And everything is about the field training and the field training bonus. Okay, see, if we recruit 300 people in 1 month or 400 people, or we've had a month of over 500 people, that every one of these people should be field trained immediately. That's the next step. And then the next step after that is going for your license. Okay, that's the next step. All right, don't put the horse before the cart or the cart before the horse, or however that saying is. Make sure that, see, let me put this back on me again. I don't know if I could do this real quick. Too bad I can't switch. I know some of you guys are, Alex, you need to learn how to use that other thing. Okay, so that, what is that? OCB, OSB, OBC, ABC, XYZ, whatever. Listen, when I do a talk like this, there are so many people that say, well, that's not how I'm going to do it. That's not how I do it. Look, if you're having a massive hierarchy, and if you're having a massive explosion and your team is growing and premium is coming left and right, then I would say, well, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to hear it how you want to do it or how you've been doing it. Okay, especially, I'm not even right now talking about our veterans. That's a whole different subject. I'm talking about a new person, where a new person says, well, wait a minute. No. I just want to do this. And then I want to do this. Well, see, the day that you join, new people, listen to me carefully now. You're not going to like a lot of my talks, but the day that you joined, part of the agreement was that you understand that you probably don't know how to run a business, that you probably don't know how to get a business like this going. And so if you're going to do it your way, you're going to have the same exact success that you've had so far in your life in business. See, you might be successful in your job, but this is not a job. And we're not talking about how to get a job going. We're talking about how to get a business going. And you got to listen to people that have built big businesses, especially in the very business that you're trying to get going. See, I wish I could get a new person to come in and go, okay, look, I'm smart, I'm a good person, God loves me, my mama loves me, my family loves me, but I'm willing to put my head down and I'm willing to get off my high horse and I'm willing to say that I know nothing about one of these businesses and I want to learn. I want to be a student again. Someday I'll have the right to teach the business. But the biggest mistake that a new person makes, the biggest mistake, is wanting to do things their way. And when we tell them, look, this is how you need to do it. Well, no, I don't want to do it. I want to do it this way. And I guarantee you, if you study their way and our way, their way makes them feel comfortable. Our way makes them feel uncomfortable. I guarantee you they're going not for the right way, but the easy way. They're going for the comfortable way. That's 100% of the time how, look, this is human nature. We're not talking about something weird and unusual here. This is human nature, where we always try to go down to the lowest common denominator. And we always try to take the easiest route, like water. Humans are like water. If you pour water, water will always just kind of slide on down and just kind of flow on down to the lowest possible point on its own, you know, using gravity. And that's kind of that's a great part of human nature. If you leave humans to our own devices, to our own ways of wanting to do something, we're like water. We're just going to always flow to the lowest possible point. And to get us to move up, how do you move water up? There's two ways you move water up. One is you got to pump it up, which takes force. It takes energy and takes a system that's fighting gravity and going against the will of the water. Does that make sense? So either that or evaporation. And evaporation is also changing the state of the water. Because when water evaporates, it's no longer in the, you all know, there's liquids and gases and solids. Remember, back to basic, what was it, physics or chemistry, right? Or biology, I can't remember. But the water has to change its state. It cannot remain in the state of being a liquid before it could be elevated to a higher place. And so as humans, we can't be the person that we got here, that the person that arrived here, and say, I'm going to stay that person. I'm going to remain in that same state. I arrived as a liquid. I'm going to stay as a liquid, but I want to grow because I want to do things my way. See, do you guys get it? So everything that I'm talking about here has to do with us either being forced, pumped, right? Using an outside force that grabs us and pushes us up, or we have to change our state into you don't recognize water vapor as water. Yeah, we all know that there's water in there, it's in there, but we know that it's in a whole different state of being. And then once it gets up there, it could convert back into water, as rain does, for example, evaporates, gets in the cloud, becomes water again. But then what does it do once it's back in its natural state, in its original state? It falls again. It falls and goes down to its lowest possible point. I wish I could teach. I wish this could be like Primerica 101, where we could take a new person and get them to see this, not just tell them this, but get them to see this, not about them. This is, oh, you're water, you're all liquidy, you're all wet. No, that this is human nature, that this is how things work. And once we realize that we got to either be forced up or change our state to move up, then we're at least more open to that. Then we're going to take our ways of thinking and just take it and just go, get rid of that thinking. What is this new thinking? So when I say a new person has to come in and the first thing they got to do is field train, is get on field training appointments, that probably goes against the nature of 99.999% of all human beings that start anything. That goes against it. Does that make sense, you guys? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's go back to let me just finish this and then we're going to do this real quick. Get ready, get ready, get ready, because here I come. All right, so license. See, make sure they get field training. Make sure somebody racks up field training bonus points right here. Then we'll get them in the license. And while they're licensing, they should be still continuing to do field trainings. Okay? And then while all this is going on, attendance. Attendance is the context in which everything happens, right? When you do an IBA and the person doesn't attend, that's the end of their career. When they start field training, but they're not attending, their days are numbered. If they get their license, but they're not attending, are you guys with me? See how this is all connected? Attendance is everything. And then the next thing is they got to start to become independently producing agents. Now that's not Indian Pale Ale. Don't get excited, all you beer drinkers out there. Okay, right? Then they got to become independently producing agents. It is shocking to me. Let me change this back to the camera. Like Art Williams would say, put that camera back on me, put that camera back on me, right? It's shocking to me how us, now see, the independently producing agent, that has a lot to do with us. That has a lot to do with the recruiter. That has a lot to do with the regional leader. That has a lot to do with the RVP. Ask yourself right now, be honest with yourself, how many independently producing agents do you have? And that's not the end of it. Independently producing agent is not a leader, and that's the next step, is you want to produce leaders. But how many independently producing agents do you have? Show me the number of independently producing agents, and production means life production, IBA production, securities production, everything. Show me how many of those you have, and I'll show you the size of your base shop. Right? If you're doing about 10,000, you probably have 1 or 2 independently producing agents, one of them being you. Maybe 3. Again, one of them being you. If you're doing a 30,000 base shop, you probably have 5 or 6 independently producing agents. Now, you could also be lopsided where you're out there doing all the premium personally. You have to be on every single appointment yourself. See, that's how a lot of people run their businesses. We told you, yes, do a lot of personal production, but we didn't say to do personal production at the expense of not producing other people that can do personal production on their own, not with you with them, but on their own, independent of you. A lot of people misunderstand this personal production. You're supposed to do $5,000 to $10,000 of personal premium, every single person out there. On top of your team, bringing in another 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100,000 of premium. On top of that, you're supposed to continue, not do 5, 10 grand of personal premium, and then that's it. That's it. Nobody else is doing anything. And I venture to say, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the fact that you don't have a lot of independently producing agents, or some of you, any independently producing agents, you're the only independent producing agent in your team, I would venture to say that you are the cause of that. You are the reason behind that. You have to check yourself. And again, I could write volumes of books on that subject of why somebody who's been in business for a while has very few or no independently producing agents, because it's those IPAs that ultimately start to become leaders. They start to not just stick their heads up as producers, but now also as leaders. And why do you have very few or no leaders? That has a lot to do with you. So many people misunderstand what leadership is. Leadership isn't you being the man, you being the woman, you walking around and barking out orders and demanding things and threatening people. That's not leadership. Leadership is how many other leaders you could produce. How many independently producing agents do you have that ultimately stick their head up and start to assume and start to take on positions of leadership? That's ultimately what this is about. You thought this was about premium and securities and life production, life premium. insurance production. It's not. It's about leadership. It happens that our products are the greatest financial products in the world. It just happens that way. So IBA to IPA, that's the goal. From an IBA to an IPA. In the process, don't screw up the order. Now, look, I know that if I tell 100 people this, and I start my talk with the first talk that I gave about how we're this way and human nature is this way and that we need, I know that not all 100 people are going to buy into that. I know that there's some wonderful people out there, some of my great friends, some people that I've met recently that are wonderful human beings that refuse to do a field training bonus, field training, that they want to get in and go after their license and this is how I'm going to do it. And they're wonderful people. I'm not putting them down as people. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying that their thinking is not ever going to allow them to be big in business. That doesn't make you a bad person. So if I have 100 people that I'm directly working with, and in my heyday, I probably had more than that. Not directs, but under them and under them and under them, but people that I was working with, that I would tell the same story to. And some of them bought into that concept and some of them didn't. And the ones that bought into the concept, I think today they're regional vice presidents making $100, $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700,000 of income on their way to making $1 million. Don't you guys get it? Don't you guys get it? The reason you're not big is you. You are getting in your own way. So from IBA to IPA, once you have a string of IPAs, now we can talk about leadership. Now we can talk about going RVP. Folks, one of the things that I'm so scared about, and I'll finish with this. So Art and Denise, get ready to come on. One of the things that I'm so scared about right now is how people think that they want to be RVP by doing the numbers that we have our minimum guidelines. They're like, oh, I did the minimum. I did the bare minimum. I dare you guys to look around and look to see what some other people are going RVP with. 40,000, 50,000 of premium. I've always said, you want to go out bare minimum basic numbers? Go. Nobody's going to get in your way. Oh my God, I have people now demanding to go RVP, not even doing the bare minimum. Not even the 20,000, and the other guidelines. But that's a whole other subject. We're going to talk about that, later on. But guys, be very careful. You only go RVP once. None of this small potato stuff. How about some big potatoes? How about what happened to base shops doing 100 grand and then producing RVPs as opposed to 30, 40? Are you kidding me right now? Are you seriously kidding me right now? Be careful about that stuff, you guys. Anyways, I want to bring up our first speakers. It's funny because they really have, since yesterday when I set up the lineup, they've already moved up. Like they were number 4 and now they're number 3. They moved up one already. But at some point you have to draw the line, right? You have to cut off the numbers and it is what it is. It bees what it bees, right? But I tell you what, they are going this month in July. They're going for number 1 base shop in the hierarchy. And I tell you, they're just barely getting started. So with no further ado, let's bring up the awesome, the amazing Denise and Art Escoto. Take it away, guys.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Yes, no, anybody?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Sometimes I've been having issues with my AirPods, but thank you guys so much. Macavan Millionaires, you guys are phenomenal. You are incredible. We are so blessed to be in business with you. And when Alex was talking about not going out at your minimums, I actually found our numbers, a printout of our numbers in a manila folder in my office at home. And I was going through them and I was showing them to our base shop, a couple of our leaders, and we were division leaders and we were doing about 37, 38, 40,000. And they asked us, why were you still division? And I just told them because we wanted to set a standard So people understood that a promotion is not just a promotion. You get promoted with so many other legs, not just by yourself. And so I showed them the progression of our first 18 months in business, and they saw the difference in codes, like 2 codes, then it was like 4 codes, and then all of a sudden we're doing 30, 40,000, and you see 25 codes, 30 codes. And so I just want to encourage you guys, let's raise the bar, let's set the standard. And yes, Team No Regrets will be the #1 base shop in the hierarchy. And if we can do it, it should give you hope that you can do it too. One of the biggest things we did was we never gave up. And having the coaching that we have with Alex and the rest of the hierarchy is really what has allowed us to continue to build this business. And so I'm just going to show you guys how we found Primerica. We were a referral. And when the RVP and the trainee came over to our house, we didn't even know who they were. So we thought they were delivering a TV that we had just bought from Costco. And actually they were the RVP and the trainee. And so Art, my husband, had said, I am not going to be downstairs. You always have people coming in the house, and you just bought a Kirby vacuum. And I'm like, of course I did. They vacuumed our brand new mattress, and we have a new baby. And so anyways, long story short, they showed up. And one of the things they asked us was, Art and Denise, do you guys have life insurance? And I said, yes, we had bought it from the California Teachers Association. We used to be teachers. And he said, can I just see it? I'm going to show you how it worked. I'm not going to give you my personal opinion, but if there's a better plan out there, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to explore that option? And I was like, sure. I never looked at that policy. I literally went into the safe, and I actually had to open the envelope and hand it to them. And I looked at it, like when I first saw it, I'm like, there's just no way they're gonna figure this out. And when he showed me how simple the policy was to pick apart, I was like, I can totally do this. And so I'm just gonna share with you what our policy looked like. Oops, I need to share my screen first. Share with you what our policy looked like so that you guys can see how and why Art and I became Crusaders. So it looks a little bit tattered right now. This was mine. Yes, I did buy it in 2003, so things have changed a little bit, but for the most part, they all work the same. And so I just want to show you this really quick. There was a couple things that they had asked me, they brought to my attention, and they just said, Denise, if you're depositing money, because again, it was sold to me as a supplement to my retirement, because teachers don't pay into retirement. And so he just said, you know, if you're depositing money into a bank or even investment accounts, if you were to take the money out, what would it be called? And I was like, a withdrawal. Like sometimes when they ask questions, you almost feel like you're being sarcastic, but it's not. It's just to get them to think. And so he showed me that it was a loan. And he's like, if it's your own money, why would you have to borrow it? And it was so weird because I was like, oh no, I can borrow against it. But it never occurred to me that I'm borrowing my own money. And so there's one, yeah, I was 25, I'm 42 now. And I was paying $150 a month. And I did not know that was a lot of money. And the crazy thing was when the representative from the California Teachers Association sold it to us, he literally did 0 presentations. He just showed up at our house and to do our taxes. And he said, let me just ask you a quick question, Denise. If Art died, how would you pay your mortgage? And I was like, I don't know. I never thought about that. At that time when we bought this, we didn't have a kid yet. And I just said, I don't know. What am I supposed to do? I had no idea. And when he said the word life insurance, the first thing I thought of was Lifetime movies. Back then they were like super popular, like the Hallmark Channel or, you know, those kind of movies. And I'm like, the only concept of life insurance I ever had was that my husband, if I ever had $1 million policy, is going to hire somebody to kill me. And I know that's totally ignorant on my part, but my family never talked about money. They never talked about life insurance. So I didn't know any better. And so when I saw that, when he mentioned that to me, I was like, okay, I seriously need to take a good look at this. And so he said, I'm going to have it taken out of your paycheck, and that way you don't have to worry about it. So I was like, oh, we're not even paying the bill, so it's cool. And so one of the things that we always look at, and it's unfortunate, but most companies don't give you the table of guaranteed values. They're giving you the table of non-guaranteed values. And what I've seen lately is where it says end of policy year, for them not to put the cash value. Instead, the policies are starting on year 4. so you won't see any zeros. So maybe just check that if that's how your policy works, or if you come across a client, don't be surprised if all of a sudden on the end of policy year, it starts at like year 10 or something like that. So our cash value, as you can see, was 0 for the first 3 years. And let's just pretend I passed away at 65, because he did mention that it was retirement, it was insurance. And so let's just say I passed away at 65. My coverage was $260,000. I had about $98,000 in cash value. And if you look here, the only time that cash value would not be a loan is when it matures. And so I'm sure you could see that it says age 100. And so when he pointed that out to me, I was like, wait, I have to be 100 years old to get that money? That's so confusing. I don't understand. And it was so simple, though, at the same time. I'm like, how is this legal? I just didn't really understand. And then the last thing was my death benefit. And if you look at my death benefit, it says the death benefit is the greater of. I was not a math teacher, but I do understand greater and less than. And so whichever one was greater, the face amount or the policy value multiplied by the minimum death benefit factor. So you go right here, 65, 120%. Let's go up here. And if you do the math, it's about 117,000. So if you look at these two columns, the death benefit and the policy value, which one is greater, the 260, or this would be around 117,000? It was 260. So I was like, but I thought it was an insurance and an investment. And so they literally just asked a really simple question and said, Denise, if you're going to purchase insurance, wouldn't you want to purchase that from an insurance company? And I was like, yes. And they said, but what about investments? If you're going to invest money, would you want to do that with an investment company or an insurance company? And I was like, well, an investment company. And so that's really what got me thinking, because we even referred him to a few people. And so I just think that it's so important to show you guys this, because again, it's our personal example. We have 2 of them. And he actually sold us like 3 more annuities on top of this. I don't even, once we got into Primerica and we saw everything that they were offering us, and we started going through everything that we were paying for, none of it made sense. Absolutely no sense. And so when Alex was talking about field training, I thought it was probably pretty important to show you something. I'm going to go into PowerPoint really quick. But wait, that's not the right one. He was talking about field training. And one of the things that Art and I did when we first got started was he did a lot of field training appointments. I think he went on 27 field training appointments and closed thousands of dollars in life insurance. There was no bonus at that time. And one of the things that we noticed was that a lot of our friends were not properly protected. And so what we thought was, we seriously need to educate people, because if we don't, nobody will. And so I'm going to just show you guys this picture really quick, because this is literally what changed my journey in Primerica. So we've paid 27 death claims, or 26 death claims. We're in the process of hopefully paying another one. We helped a client with a policy 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, and 4 days later got a call that the client had passed away, but the policy wasn't issued yet. So we'll see what Primerica does in that case. But this is our friends. The first death claim we ever paid was our pastor's dad. And that was tough, but it wasn't as hard as this one. And this is Antonio Ortiz and his wife, Gloria Ortiz. And we got married. They were in our wedding. We're godparents to all their kids. And this is why field training is so important. We didn't know what we were doing, but we knew that there were people around us that we absolutely loved. And we wanted to make sure that if, God forbid, something happened to them, that they were going to be okay financially. And so I want you to look at this couple right here, guys, and I want you to just think about who you know that needs to know this information. And this is why. So we're in field training, we do a policy with them, and then a few years later, 2 a.m., March 28th, 2011, I get a phone call. And I sit up in bed and Art's sleeping next to me, and I just hear screaming. And I'm like, what the heck? What's going on? Are you okay? And it was his wife calling me to tell me that at 37 years old, he died of a heart attack. You guys, I never saw that coming. No heart issues. We used to play soccer together, softball together. We worked out together, super athletic, and literally dies. And I go to the funeral home the very next day. We do the assignment form. Primerica handled everything so perfectly. And that's when I fell in love with the company, because I knew that it delivered, and it didn't just deliver for, a client, it delivered for probably our best friends in the entire world. Fast forward 2 years later, now I'm living in Texas, and their oldest son rather, their oldest son passes away. He got killed at his job, crushed by a semi truck that didn't have reverse sensors. Same phone call, almost 2 a.m. I'm in Texas. I literally, within hours, jump on a plane, fly to their house, go to help her. The funeral home already has my number, because all of my clients that had passed away in Santa Barbara, there's pretty much only 2 funeral homes there. And so we had a really great relationship. They said, "Oh, it's Denise again with Primerica." And I'm like, "You shouldn't be well known in a funeral home." But thank God we had such great people that were helping our clients. But just understand, you guys, you're not in field training. Yes, the bonus is great. Yes, what we do is incredible, but it's not everything. What it is educating families and making sure that no matter what, if God forbid the worst thing that could ever happen to a family happens, your company is delivering, and you need to stand on that promise, because like I said, Primerica is incredible. They've always delivered when they said they were going to. And so again, the last thing I'm going to do is just show you one more slideshow really quickly. I know I only have about 2 minutes left, but I think it's important. I came to Primerica and I was absolutely challenged. And I realized that if it didn't challenge me, it wasn't going to change me. And the challenge was not like having to meet with people and learn the financial services field. What it was all the baggage that I brought into this business. And all of a sudden, all of that stuff started getting exposed over and over. And I was like, ignore, ignore, ignore. And eventually it just kind of exploded. And I just want to encourage you, if that's happening to you, go for it. Get it out of the way. Do what you need to do, because the next thing that I realized was, if I couldn't heal because I kept acting like I was okay. And that's not going to help you grow. That's not going to take you to another level. Address it, take care of it. That doesn't mean shut down your business for months or anything like that. That just means if you feel something, take care of it right away and let it go. Because this is what I want you guys to know, is no matter who you're with, whether you're in this hierarchy, if you're just a brand new person, no matter who you're hanging out with, any of these leaders on this call, you hang out with us too long, we're going to brainwash you into believing in yourself and knowing you can achieve everything. And so what we want to do is, just as Art did last week, we want to make a call to action, McEvan hierarchy. Let's go. We are going to have reconciliation. We are going to have the best hierarchy in the entire company. We already do, and it's our time. So let's go, guys. We have what it takes. And it's time for us to explode the next 3 days. And then one clap, and guess what? It's August 1st. So God bless you guys. I love you. Thank you so much.
Unbelievable. Fantastic, Denise. Man, you covered so much stuff there. One of the first things Denise said was teachers. She reminded me, teachers don't have a retirement plan. They're not in they don't pay into the Social Security stuff. So boom, see, as a businessman, all of a sudden a flag went up in my head. I got to talk to every teacher possible and talk to them about what do they have set up for their retirement. And chances are it's some freaky, phony, baloney, life insurance plan through some one of these clown companies. And they don't understand that it's just a life insurance policy with very little benefits in terms of retirement. OMG, you guys, see, you got to train your ears to hear the good stuff. She talked about, the Lifetime, was it Lifetime television and all that? She reminded me that the first time somebody asked me if I knew what a mutual fund was, they go, "You know what a mutual fund is, right?" And I go, yeah, I know what it is. Of course, I had no idea. But my mind conjured up, there was a TV show back in the 70s called Mutual of Omaha's Animal Kingdom. Some of you are old enough, so you're shaking your head right now. You're old enough to remember that show, Mutual of Omaha's Animal Kingdom. It was like animal show. And a guy named Marlon Perkins used to narrate it, and he was a zoologist or whatever. And so I thought, yeah, I know about that TV show called, it's got nothing to do with what a mutual fund is. That's how ignorant I was. And some of you are thinking you still are, right? And then, oh my God, just so much stuff. Anyways, I kept taking notes, but I don't want to take the next person's time. Hopefully I have a little bit of time at the end that I want to talk about some important stuff. So, all right, let's bring up our next couple. Doing great things, unbelievable. You know, it's great because they were up here, and then for a minute they're down here. They're still big enough to be in the speaking lineup, but you know, that's every championship team. Just always remember this, gets their lunch handed to them from time to time. Every great fighter, boxer, gets their teeth smashed in once in a while. You know, I'm a big fan of boxing. I'm a big fan of MMA. And I watch these guys in the ring and I go, man, this guy's an animal, he's a beast. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes along and just smashes them in. And of course, the winners always come back again, bigger and stronger. And that's what this couple is about to do. They're getting ready to just explode their team big time. And they're going to regain the $100,000 base shop status. I promise you. Let's put it this way, they better. So anyways, with no further ado, let's bring up our next couple, the awesome, the amazing Ash and Sahar Merkenberg. Take it away.
Yo. Thanks, coach. Appreciate it, man. That's awesome. And that is 100% right. You you guys, a lot of you guys know my background is, I used to wrestle for a total of 17 years, compete for about 14 years. And then the last 3.5 years, I was a coach. And, it's so true. And I was in the national team, 6 years in a row. I had a national championship gold. One of the things is you can never let up. You can never let up. If you want to stay at the top, you can never let up. And, it's the same thing in business as it is in sports. And that's one of the things that anyone that is athletic, they know how it is to compete. And here we get to compete. And the best part is, when you get to come and do a comeback, okay? As soon as it gets closer, you can always say, hey, you know what, let's reset. Let's go for it. And we're excited for a big, big comeback. I tell you, the team is fired up. Base Shop, love you guys, man. You're on it. And in the next 5 months, we're gonna do some amazing things, and I'm very, very excited about that. Even our RVPs, they're back on the roll. We're gonna start doing the minimum minimum bar is gonna be 30 by 30 in the hierarchy, and so I love that we have high standards in the McInvan hierarchy. So it's lovely. I'm also very inspired by, let me see, can you guys hear me well? Is it okay?
Yeah, you're great. You're great.
Okay, good. So, I'm also really inspired by, watching the other RVPs, doing great numbers, and, Art and Denise, what a great job out in Texas, it's inspiring, and I love that. I love that, to come in and learn and be the student of the business. It doesn't matter how long you've been here, you can always learn something new. And that's what it is all about. And go for it again. So it doesn't matter, guys, right now, if you've been here for a week, a month, a year, 10 years like me, you can reset and recharge and get after it, rewrite your goals and go for your next run. And that's what's exciting about the Primerica. There's no corporation telling you you can't or whatever. So here we go. Today I want to talk about RDS. I really didn't get a chance to finish it last time. And I think this is very important. Coach Alex always talks about this is how he built his business based on recruiting the sale, RDS. Of course, Coach Alex came up with that, recruit the sale. And I want to go over that a little bit today again, and I think it's important that, when you do the recruiting the sale, the mindset is when you go into an appointment or you do a Zoom appointment, the sale should always be a done deal. It should be a done deal. I mean, anyone that loves their families, they're going to want to get life insurance. I mean, it's just a common sense, So it shouldn't be a hard thing to close someone on getting life insurance. You love your families, of course you're going to get life insurance, something that you can afford, that's fine. But now the real objective here is to really recruit this person to see that if they stay at the current job or current situation, they might never achieve their goals and dreams, that there is another way where they can have more freedom, make more money, have more time with the family. There is a company in America that allows average people like us to come in and achieve that, right? And that's our, and so once you do the presentation and the life is done, your recruiting the sales should never be by the way, how would you like to do the business? I mean, if that's your recruiting portion of your entire presentation and your appointment, then you might not be a very effective recruiter. So you want to spend a lot of time on the recruiting part, because the sale, after each sale, if you don't recruit them or get referrals, that's the end of that story. But if you recruit the sale, it's the beginning of something great. A new chapter is just starting. So that's how I look at it. You never want to be finishing a sale and run out. Gotcha. And just the closing and run. I used to do it all the time. Oh my gosh, I closed. Let me run before they change their mind. But and then later on, I was like, no. I don't want to be be out there prospecting every day to find a sale. I want to get this person to come with me and do what I'm doing so we can go win together. So you should make an attempt to recruit every sale. Obviously, if they're legal, if they have their, if they qualify for it. And who qualifies? Anyone that is over 18, anyone that has a work permit, and no criminal record. So it doesn't matter if the person is 18 years old or 80 years old. You should do a great attempt on, showing them the business. So why should you do that? They already believe in our services. They already like you. They already trust you. They give you all of their, about all their diseases, their everything, their height and weight and social security and bank account and everything. You know who they really trust with the beneficiary. I mean, everything. So now you already established that. That's why you should be, recruiting them. All right. So share your 5-minute story once it's done. You got to talk about your 5-minute story, and it's got to be relatable. It's got to have your past, and right now, and the future, why you're doing it, where you're going. And a lot of people read your 5-minute story is really where you recruit people, because somewhere in that story, people can relate to you. And so you want to master your 5-minute story. This is so big. So your 5-minute story is your story. It has to be truth. It has to be yours, customized for you. But people have to be able to relate to that, okay? And so guys, these are very important things. So let me go over to the next one. Once you do that, now, you got to talk about their goals and dreams. So their goals and dreams is the most important thing, because their goals and dreams is the reason why they're going to do the business, not because of your goals and dreams, but their goals and dreams. So find out everything about them. What do they want in their lives? What is their goals? What are their dreams? Talk to them straight. When are you seeing that ever being accomplished, staying at your current job? Is there a chance ever? They're most likely going to say no. And so that was a Swedish nay. And so here it is, right? You talk about that, and then you give them a key so that they can, by coming into Primerica, they're going to be able to reach their goals and dreams if they come with you. That's the whole concept of RDS. Okay, guys? So these are a few questions that I would be asking. So are you happy with what we did for you as a client? Yes, I am. Do you feel like you're better off now when you have a plan? Yes, definitely. Do you believe this information would be valuable to other people? Oh, absolutely. Can you see yourself sharing this information with people that you care about on your free time, after work, or on your day off? See, I'm overcoming the time thing right now. Yeah, I mean, you see them already, right? You visit them, you talk to them anyway. So could you share? Yeah, of course. Now, how would you like to get paid every time you help a family That would be really good. Every time we help someone, you get paid. So with an extra $1,500 to $2,500 a month, improve your finances right now? Definitely would be. So then I would go to the next one. So just like any other profession, look, we need to get you certified and licensed with the state, okay? So you can't just come and work with us like this. So you got to take care of your licensing deposit, $74, and that is only in July. It's usually a lot more than that, but we have a couple more days, guys. By Monday night, it's going to be gone. And once you get your license, we give you $50 back, and we'll take care of the rest of the licensing cost. So we also have paid training while you're working on your license and getting trained. I guess the question I have for you is, how quickly would you like to start learning and making money? And they're gonna usually say, well, the faster the better. So, all right, so do you wanna use the same bank account number, or do you wanna use a debit or credit card number for the $74? And they're gonna say, well, the same or debit card. Great. And so that's it. So you guys, but you gotta expect them to come with you. You gotta expect them to come with you and recruit them. The sell is done, and it's a very simple, basic process, but you gotta just do it and know it like you know your name. Look, I wanna give you guys a couple of points as well. So this is the first stages when you start doing this. I have a couple more minutes. So go from being a good presenter to a good connector. Guys, this is everything in our business. I always talk about this. You got to connect with people. I've seen people, they come into Primerica, and I was a great example of that. I learned the presentation. I was like a robot, right? I learned word by word Alex's presentation. I video recorded him, and I learned it word by word. So what I would do is I would just go into an appointment. I wouldn't even think. I was like, I'm sitting in front of someone, and I would just present exactly the words that I learned. I would just say the words, but there was no connection between me and the person. So everybody was like, whoa, great information. Thank you. We'll definitely let you know when we're ready. I was like, oh, everybody says it was a great presentation, And then I walked out, and for a while, I was just presenting and presenting and presenting, and there was no close. I was like, what? So what am I doing wrong? See, guys, I was not connecting with the person. So I'm going to give you guys, so the more you do it, the more you start learning about connecting with people. So I'm going to give you guys a few points how to connect. First of all, people like to do business with someone that they like and trust, okay? Very key point. You cannot come in, if they see you as a salesperson, as an insurance agent, you're coming in there, they're like, well, they're just trying to sell me something, right? But if they like you and they trust you in this meeting, the time that you have with them, it's going to be so much easier. They buy anything from you. So talk about them and their lives. Okay, be genuinely interested in them. So how do you create that like and trust? So talk about their lives. Don't talk about your life. Talk about their lives. People like to talk about themselves, their kids, their hobbies, their work, their relationship. Talk about them. And then listen more than you talk. So, Coach Alex says you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means you have to listen 2 times more than we talk. So instead of being like blah 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 talking at them, so you ask questions and you listen. Ask questions and listen. And then you listen, and then they tell you. See, the more they talk about themselves, it's weird. The more they like you, the more they feel comfortable around you. And these are so key, guys. It's true when it comes to recruiting. It's true when it comes to kitchen table appointment. It's true with everything. You're sitting down and where you're talking to someone at the dinner table, or your kids, or anything, anywhere, your friends, your teammates. It's true everywhere. The fastest way to get someone to like you is to start liking them first. Woo! All right, so how do I get someone to like me? So go in with the mindset that, you know what, I really like this person. I like him. I like her. So you gotta have that mindset. Start liking them, and I promise you, it's the vibe. They feel it, and they start liking you back. It's weird, but it's true. It works every time. Okay, so treat them like if they're your own parents, with respect and being caring. See, guys, when you do that, you go in and you don't look at them as a dollar sign. You really care about them. You go in and you really try your best to feel and be, respect all of that. it all adds up to the person that, like, you know what? I like this person. You know, I can trust this person, and I like to do business, and I would like to follow this person. That's what it is. And you got to be excited about everything you're talking about. I hope this is helping. I think this is the last thing, the last page I have for you guys. I got a couple more minutes. Look, guys, at some point, you got to start talking about going full time. You got to start writing it down. You got to go full time. And that's where the game really starts. When you're all in, when there's no other sources of income, no soy. So here's how you do it. To pay your bills, this is how you do it. You sell out to recruit 3 to 4 directs every month and help them get their 3x3. That's how you do double-digit recruiting, and you do your $10,000 in personal. You gotta do that. You can do this. It doesn't matter if you are a district leader, a division, it doesn't matter. Right now, I'm so proud. You know, we have one of our new division leaders, Hilda Carmona. She's almost a $10,000 personal. She's been in the business just a couple of months, and she's out there independently recruiting for her team, you know, training them, and she's a division leader. And she's gonna be, so division leader, total pay $6,000. You get $4,500 in advances. Once the whole Corona Shmorona is done and over, she's not gonna even have to go back to her job. Her first month, she made like almost $4,000. Her bonus was $2,750, and this is her second month license. She's making at least $4,500 in her pocket. It's life-changing, guys. It can happen to everyone. Well, I'm excited. Thank you for listening, guys. I am pumped up. We're gonna dominate. We're gonna finish strong. And guys, let's go take over this company. If you're ready with me, get excited, but put some numbers on the board. That's how you show your support. I love you guys. Let's get it back to the awesome, incredible world champion in coaching, Coach Alex. Thank you.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Hey, you got the memo on the yellow shirt, I see. That's great, man.
I know.
So, guys, by the way, unbelievable training so far. Whew, Denise and Ash, I mean, my mind is just incredible. The psychological study that Ash just did. Why don't people like me? Because you don't like people. And that was amazing. That was really amazing. Guys, real quick, the video that we've provided for you guys, make sure that everybody gets that. Make sure that every RVP has it. It's voluntary. You don't have to do it. But I believe it's a fantastic recruiting tool. There's a 2-minute version that's more like a teaser. By the way, we're coming out with those of you that are using the video, we're coming up with a brand new teaser. It's about 3 minutes, and it'll be available starting Wednesday. We're finalizing that, so we don't have to use. Right now, we're using chapter 1 of the long video, but it's going to be its own independent teaser video. So, guys, if you're not using that, I mean, it's such a. Every person should have a link, and if you cannot provide it to them, I'll provide it to them. Except mine, you know, has my name and my number sort of watermarked on the video. You may not want that. If you don't want that, then get your own video and make your own watermark. I'm talking to the RVPs right now, and make sure that you put it out there. Okay. So every new person, part of what they should be armed with and what the ammunition that they should be given is a link that's sitting somewhere on either YouTube or on Vimeo. And I understand Vimeo is better because you have more control over it, but something that cannot be downloaded, but can be watched. It can be watched, and it could be, the link could be sent. And because it's got your name and your watermark on the back, in the background, then nobody else can use it except you can use it. Okay. I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff out there, and some of you are probably hearing this for the first time. Maybe you're noticing it for the first time. We've been talking about it for a couple of months now, but it's all good. It's all good. So make sure, I made a note, video, DA video. And for example, Ash was just talking about recruiting the sale. I think every time you finish with a sale, you should give them the link. Right now we're doing sale on Zoom. So when you're done, everything's done. Say, John and Mary, do me a favor. I'm going to send you a 21-minute and 40-second video. I want you to watch it. And then tomorrow, I know we've already spent an hour, maybe a couple of hours together, so you're probably a little bit tired. But I want you to watch this at your leisure. and then we'll talk about, I'll call you tomorrow, we can talk some more. So it could be used for recruiting the sale. It could be used for a brand new, I'm calling people that I haven't talked to in a while. And I'm saying, hey, John, I'll send them a text message. I say, hey, John, hey, Mary, do you have 21 minutes and 40 seconds? They go, what? I go, do you have 21 minutes and 40 seconds you can spare? I'm going to send you something. You got to promise me you're going to watch this and then call me, or I'll call you afterwards. And then boom, I send him a text message and I send him the link. By the way, you are not allowed, nobody is allowed to put these videos out on social media. If you do that, you're going to get cut off. We're going to make sure that you never are able to use, you get one shot at this, only one, you don't get a do-over on this. This cannot end up on social media. We're not allowing this on social media. There's a million reasons. Don't argue with me. Just do it. Okay. You could DM it, direct message it through whatever medium, whatever social media. It could be DM to somebody. It could be texted to somebody. But do not put it on a mass sort of a media where anybody, and that would be like sticking flyers on windshields of cars, and it just cheapens it. It just makes it just scuzzy. That's a scuzzy thing. Okay, guys? Anyways, let's bring up our next couple. Oh, actually, we're gonna do our compliance now, which is our next couple. And so we're always gonna spend about 10 minutes every Saturday doing compliance. So no one is better. Obviously, you still have to qualify. He's fifth in the row, and he can't stand being number 5 because he's used to being number 1. But it is what it is. And anyways, so excited for them, so proud of them. He's going to do about 10 minutes for us for compliance. No further ado, let's give it up for the amazing Gus and Daisy Tunzai. Take it away.
Thank you, Coach. Good morning, everyone. All right, do some compliance stuff. So really quick, I think it's gonna be less than 10 minutes. We got 6-7 pages. So most of it is securities, right? Because we're very strict with securities. So anyways, right here, right now, so annual field office. So make sure you have a checklist. So there's a checklist that they want us to do for our securities. So make sure that your office is, you go through that checklist, and that there's a click path right there, and you should look for it in your packet or emails. They usually send it to you too directly if you have a securities license. Otherwise, talk to your RVP, right? Okay, next slide. Let me see. All right. So satellite managers, make sure when you're moving. Yeah. So this is satellite office field office registration forms. So make sure when you change offices, change locations, you should do it 30 days prior to the effective date. So just make a note of that, right? For those that are moving. Next is inactivity. If you're a securities license, make sure you do something, right? You took this license, I'm sure some people took it a few times more than others, but you had to study for it. Don't waste it, right? So do something. You have 24 months to submit a new transaction, right? You got to have activity within 24 months, right? So do something. And 24 months, it's 2 years, all right? So do something. Don't lose your license, right? All right. Next is, again, investments. Oh, okay, this is for the list of funds that we have, that we are approved funds. So there is the SB 70 and SB 72. Those are the a list of approved funds. So, you could show that to your potential client through Zoom. You could do it as PDF. You can do that. So you could show them, if you want to show them, if they want to see a list of funds that they can choose from. All right. So next, yes, part of that. And next is, if you have Bright House annuities, right? Formerly MetLife annuities. Make sure to update. There's an update on the Guaranteed Living Benefit Rider. If you have clients that have Bright House, you want to maybe go over it with them, and it's a good time to do that. Maybe talk to them about it, and maybe you can get some new business from them too, right? That's a great thing to do. So follow up on your old clients, like do a yearly or quarterly or semi-annually. Have a right, just call them and see how they're doing, and you can get a new business from them, right? Referrals. And last but not least, this is very important. I think Coach Alex wanted me to go a little bit deeper on this one, but I still have like 5 minutes. But hey, this one I'll take a minute. Just reminder, email all electronic 529 plans to your RVP as soon as the application is submitted. So if you're not an RVP and you have securities, whether you're principal license or not, you got to give that to your RVP when you submit a 529, right? And then never submit any paper securities application to home office directly. Always turn in paper securities applications to your RVP within 24 hours of date of application. All right, and then make sure you keep your U4 current at all times by updating it within 30 days of a reportable event. So yes, make sure to keep your U4 updated, like address and all that, and most especially reportable events, which is judgments. So these are all like financial things. If you have judgments, liens, new ones, or you clean them up too, you have to report that. Bankruptcies, new ones, and if you sell them, you also need to update that. Compromises with creditors, whether it's a new one or you've cleaned it up, you gotta both ways. You gotta record it or report it. Both the event and the resolution, just like I explained. All right, I'm jumping over. So both event and the resolution, starting bankruptcy, ending bankruptcy, starting a legal matter, and when it comes to a final disposition. If you are uncertain of the situation that may require reporting, contact your RVP or the SRR department, right? And because FINRA charges a fine as high as $1,575 for failure to timely report any of these reportable events. So make sure you don't want to pay that, right? Okay, I think that's it for me, Coach. Thank you so much, and go nonstop, base. Keep it up. We're gonna be #1 again, like Coach said. Thank you. Love you guys.
All right, great job, man. Love you too. And do me a favor and go ahead and unattach. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep rolling right here. I tell you what, this training is world-class training. The stuff that I'm hearing and watching, it's unparalleled. It's bar none. And you better watch this video over and over and over again. We're always posting these videos out on YouTube. We're sending the links to the RVPs and to the regional leaders. So if you want to get it, talk to your regional leader or to your RVP, and they will forward you the link of any and all of these trainings. It's all out there. So let's bring up our next couple. Man, I tell you what, they are, if I was them right now, I'd be a little bit nervous because number 5 has moved up to number 3, and they're right now number 3 on the speakers, which means they've moved down to number 4. I'd be a little bit scared if I were them, but I know how studly they are, and I know that they are a $100,000 base shop in the making. And I am not backing down until a bunch of our RVPs in our hierarchy get to that $100,000 base shop mark and beyond. I'm gonna keep pounding on this. So you're either gonna get to 100 grand RVPs, or you're gonna just stop getting on these calls and these webinars because you're sick and tired of hearing me. It's gonna be one or the other, because I'm not backing down. All right, no further ado, let's hear it from the awesome, the amazing, the absolute good looking, maybe not as good looking as me quite, but give it up for the awesome Leandro and Cheryl Munoz.
Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. Yes, Coach, thank you. Yes, we are scared to death right now. Yep, we're going for number 1. That's how it is. That's how it goes. We have to go for number 1. Got to keep winning. Be consistent about it. And thank you, Coach. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for the coaching that you always do for us. Thank you, you guys. You are the ultimate coach, Alex and Lisa McInvan. And of course, I will not stop thanking Kristen Joy, Dave and Christina Abog, and of course, Gus and Daisy for bringing us into business. And hello, Power Team, Power Base Shop, Power Hierarchy. Great job. Power Base, you guys are doing great. Let's finish strong. We have today, tomorrow, and Monday. All right, so I'm going to be training on fanatical prospecting today. And let me share this. Okay, so but before I start, I want to piggyback on what Denise said about, about teachers, because my mom was a teacher. She dedicated her life teaching. She started teaching at 18 years old, and when she moved here to the U.S., she also started teaching here. But it's true. They don't have any retirement. But guess what? She's retiring right now as if she had a good retirement fund because of Primerica. Because I retired her and she's living the life. She doesn't have to worry about money. She's living a very, very comfortable life. As a matter of fact, she's getting so bored because she's just at home every day, right? So, and she's also licensed in Primerica, by the way. So guys, that's what Primerica can do. You can retire your loved ones, right? They don't have a retirement fund, but they have Leandro retirement fund. All right, so what I'm going to be training on is fanatical prospecting. You got to be fanatic about prospecting. It's not just something that you wing it. It's not just something that you plan, but it has to be part of you. Okay, you have to be fanatical about it. So let's define what fanatical means. It means you are obsessed. You're obsessively concerned with something. Again, you cannot just use look at Primerica as a sideline, as a side gig, right? As something that, oh yeah, I have Primerica. No, you gotta be fanatic, right? Be fanatic be obsessed, be filled with excessive and single-minded zeal, motivated or characterized by an extreme uncritical enthusiasm. See that? Motivated. You have to be motivated. We're not here to motivate you. You're in this business because you're already motivated, right? So if you're here to find motivation, find a motivational speaker, right? So again, let's be fanatical. Now, the law of business. What is the law of business? Nothing happens until something moves, right? Nothing happens until someone sells something. Nothing happens until someone recruits someone. Nothing happens until someone licenses someone in this type of business, right? So that's the law of business, the law that's something we cannot fight, we cannot change. Now, true or false? There's no easy button in sales, no magic button, no one single gimmick or method, no shortcut. See, we've seen a lot of people who are trying to shortcut their way to success. They're trying to find an easy way. Well, guess what? Newsflash, there's no easy way in Primerica, okay? You have to do what you're supposed to do in the beginning, okay? And then eventually it's gonna be on cruise control, right? Eventually you're just gonna enjoy. It's just gonna be harvest time for you, right? But again, in the beginning, you gotta do the work, right? Do it for the first 5-6 years. If you're new in the business, just give it your all, give it 100%, give your all. And I'm telling you, it's all worth it, okay? Why is your team not hitting goals? I always talk about this. Your pipeline is sick. Your pipeline is anemic. There's no blood flowing in your pipeline. Look at how many people are in class right now, or how many recruits do you have right now? Look at your own base shop. If you're a regional leader, look at your own regional leader base shop. Division leader, look at your base shop. How many recruits do you have month to date? Or how many recruits did you have last month? See, look at how many people are going to class right now in your team. How many people are licensed, are getting licensed, are on the process of getting licensed, or just got appointed? How many people? Now, number 2, you're not prospecting. So meaning you're not doing something to grow your business. If you do that, if you're not doing something to grow your business, or you're not prospecting right now, it's going to be the same next month. Okay, if you're not having a good month this month, guess what's going to happen? It's going to happen again next month. You're not going to have a good month. Number 3, your team is not prospecting. Because you as a leader are not prospecting, guess what? Your team is going to do what you do, because it's a copycat business, right? Even as a regional vice president, we got to make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to do. As leaders, we got to lead from the front. We got to show how it's done. Show it and then tell it. Show how it's done and then tell them how it's done, right? Be fanatical about it. Oops. Okay. Mediums of prospecting. There's a lot of ways to do prospecting, you know, especially now that we have Zoom. There's no there's no reason. Some people, you know, before the pandemic, they're so afraid of prospecting because they're so afraid to talk to people out there. Right now, don't you don't have to go out there. Since it's a pandemic, you don't have to go out, right? Maybe you can do your phone calls, right? Do social networking. Use Facebook, you know, since we are most of us are using Facebook a lot anyway. So let's use it for our business, right? You email, you text, you know, in person, in Zoom, in networking events, in fast starters, right? So be fanatical about it. Oops. And my PowerPoint again. So different types of salespeople. Again, this is from the book Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blount. If you want to get a copy of it, get a copy of it. It's amazing. So different styles of salespeople. Types of salespeople. Number one, there's a bad. Believe it or not, there are bad salespeople. You know, when you go to a dealership, what kind of a car dealership, right? What kind of experience do you have? I don't like going to car dealerships because of the experience that I have when you know, with the salespeople. If they don't make a sale, they're mad at you. You're not their friends anymore, right? So if you don't like what they offer, then they're not gonna be friends with you. So because they're not good salespeople. They are the ones that gave a bad name, bad impression about sales. Okay, about salespeople. Bad salespeople. Now in Primerica, you're gonna start as not being a good salesperson. Okay, you're gonna start from messing up, you know, from hitting your head on the ground. You're gonna start bad, but then you're gonna become good, right? Become mediocre. So that's a second type of salesperson. Second type of salespeople are the mediocre salespeople, and then there are the good salespeople. Okay, there are the good salespeople, and then there are your superstars. So in Primerica, you start from being bad, right? Just the learning curve, just like what Hector Lamarck always tells us, there is a learning curve in life. You start knowing nothing, and then you become good at it, and then you become great, and then you become a superstar or a master of it, because that's the learning curve. You cannot fight that. So in here, it's saying that, you know, you start as bad and then you become a superstar, or you remain as a bad salesperson if you refuse to learn, if you are resistant to change, right? So that's how it is. Those are the different types of salespeople, and there are others. Now, let's compare the superstars with the non-superstars. On the right side, you see that, the yellow? Those are the non-superstars. Okay, the excuse makers, the one-hit wonders, the one-hit wonders, okay? You had a good month this month or last month, and then you're at 0 by 0 right now. So those are the one-hit wonders. They're not really after longevity in the business. They're just they just want to make money one time, and then that's it, right? They're gone. So those are the one-hit wonders. And there are people who quit too soon. One sign of adversity, you know, they get a chargeback, they quit. They get a no, they quit. They have someone who quit on them, they also quit. So that's two, by the way, TOO, sorry about that. Quit too soon. Some people question the system. I'm sure you've experienced that. You get someone in the business and then you tell them, hey, this is how it goes. This is the system. This is what's been working for the last 40 years. And then they question it. They say, no, why is it that way? Why do I get this much? Why don't I get the 100%? Blah, 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 right? So some people question those are the non-superstars, and some people, they shortcut the presentation. They have a loser's mindset. Thanks, Stella. Now let's talk about the superstars. The superstars deliver month in, month out, and you guys see it here in this hierarchy. There are superstars who produce month in, month out. There are superstars who are, you know, number one day, and then you don't see them anymore, right? So the superstars deliver month in, month out. Okay, they're superstars. The superstars are competitive. Okay, superstars understands the system. Superstars will deliver winning and duplicatable presentation. Superstars have that winning mindset. Okay. All right. Superstars characteristics. Number one, they are fanatical prospectors. They don't just schedule their prospecting. They prospect as they go. They talk to every person that they see around them. They talk about Primerica. Relentless. They are unstoppable. They are obsessive in keeping the pipeline busy. Again, pipeline. Always look at your pipeline. Keep looking for the next opportunity. They prospect day in and night. They use prospecting as a way of life. They don't worry about what other people think of them. Enthusiastically dive into email, telephone, asking for referrals, following up on leads. So when you don't use your phone for prospecting, your phone starts getting heavy. Okay, so we got to make sure that we keep calling people, keep talking to people. They dive into striking up conversations with strangers. Okay, they don't make excuses. They don't complain. They don't whine. They don't live in fear. They don't procrastinate. Okay, superstars prospect when times are good because they know rainy days are coming. Rainy days are coming. See, whenever you have a good month, this is how I think, and this is how I always tell the team to think, okay? When you're having a good month, celebrate for maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour, yay, thank you, one clap, and then boom, be worried about the next month, okay? Had $50,000 base shop last month, okay, or if you have a $50,000 base shop this month, then you gotta be scared. You gotta be worried that next month is not gonna be the same, right? Again, it's a mindset. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna start prospecting like crazy. Prospect even when they don't feel like it because they are driven to keep the pipeline going. They carry business cards. They get up in the morning and bang the phone. Superstars text, call, email in the morning, use social media at night. Before they end the day, they make more phone calls. Who knows? That last phone call could be your next superstar. When they are done calling, they do one more call, then one more. They use prospecting as the air they breathe. They don't whine. They don't cry with losers. See, if you hang out with losers, you're gonna be a loser too, right? When you're gonna be hang out with negative people, when you hang out with 4 negative people, you're gonna be the 5th negative person. Superstars get moving, take responsibility, and own their territory. They wake up early, right? Early on time. They log on early on time to Saturday trainings, right? They know that failure is not because they are not talented. It's just because they didn't do what they're supposed to do. They're always punctual. I'm so big at this. My team knows it, that I get crazy when people are late. So you always have to be punctual because you are a superstar. You're listening right now and they show up. Thank you. Thank you, Stella, for the reminder. That's my part. Thank you so much. Coach, thank you for listening. And I promise you this, we are going to finish strong. We're going to be 100K base shop even before we promote the next RVP. That's going to happen, Coach. I love you. Thank you for what you do. Take it away, Coach.
Wow. Unbelievable. I love it. This is how winning is done. You make a commitment. You go public with it. Some of you all are like secret agents, like, hey, don't tell anybody. Shh, don't tell anybody. You make a declaration. You go public with it. You put your butt on the line, and then you go to work because now you got to back it up, right? I love it. Let me show you guys something real quick. It's nothing you have not seen before, but let's do this real quick. Okay, so guys, just remember, we got to make sure, let's see, I can't even see what I'm doing. There it is. Okay, so make sure if you have not sent in your text message, please do so right now. We are at 346 locations that have logged in. That was our peak. I don't know if we exceeded that or not. And last time I checked, we were at 463 people that have texted in. 466 now. Guys, I know that if we have 350 locations, there's at least 700 people out there, maybe more, because there's usually an average of 2 people per location per login that are watching. If you're not sending in your text message, I don't know what to tell you. Just do it. Get in, make sure you pick out the hashtag and you send in your text message. Please do that. Come on, you guys, get coachable. A lot of people, every time we have a meeting, we have about 5 or 10 people that call the number. I know it's misleading. It starts with 855, looks like an 800 number. It is an 800 number, but it's not for calling. Your calling will do nothing. Please send a text message. Okay, guys, formulate your text message, put in the hashtag that you saw and your name. It's funny how we have to chase people down. They only send in their name or they only send in their hashtag. Then we got to text them, please tell us your name. Please tell us your RVP, la, 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 la. But it's all good. It's all good. You know, we got to do what we got to do. And then send your text message to this number, 855-801-3998. This is not my cell number. This is not a place for you to ask questions. This is not like, how does this work? How does that work? You probably, most of your questions, all of your questions, if you send it here, are going to go unanswered. This is just a place to send in your hashtag and your name. That's it. It's like you're checking in, you're registering, you're signing in. That's all it's for, okay? Don't send in a like or thumbs up or thumbs down. Those things don't count. The system is automated, so it doesn't recognize those things. Only recognizes the hashtag plus your name. Also, one phone, one person. Please don't grab your phone and register your 35 people, your friends and family. Each person needs to use their own phone. Okay, this is my cell number. If you ever need to reach me directly, there's my cell number directly. All right, so let me close this out. Let me go to our next speakers. All right, so look, the Kalaras have been #1. They're still #1 this week. But I tell you what, there's 2 Kalaras, I'm gonna tell you right now. There's 2 base shops that are nipping at your heels. The next speakers and the Escotos. In fact, I believe that this month, both Mike and Eva and Escoto are gonna hit their 50,000 mark this month, in the month of July. And Kalaras, you better stay ahead. And another thing that happened, that used to happen when I was going RVP and when I was promoting RVPs, was when I promoted an RVP, the next month my base shop would grow. Not go down for the next 6 months and nobody heard from me ever again. See, that's not the right way of doing it, right? In fact, ask the Legaspis. When the Legaspis got promoted, my base, and their replacement was Gigi, my base shop grew. We actually did more numbers the month after we promoted the Legaspis. With the Legaspis, I'm not talking about, right, just any old, right? When they went out, the next month, we were bigger. Now you gotta you wanna, again, you don't wanna be coached. You don't wanna hear the truth. You don't wanna hear the right way, which is the hard way, and then the easy way. You don't wanna hear that. So we promoted a leg that became a $300,000 leg, which is the Legaspi leg. And our base shop still grew the next month. Now they were not at 300,000 when we promoted them, granted. The Abogs were just the little old districts back then. Are you guys with me on this? So let me bring up our next couple. Man, they are #2 in the hierarchy as of right now, month to date. They have been crushing it on attendance. They usually represent 1/3 of all attendance on op night. So if we have 400, 500, 600 people, they're usually 1/3 of it. And now so attendance was here, and now their numbers are coming up. That's how it is supposed to be. They're cracking the code. Pretty soon they're going to be #1 in attendance and #1 in premium. They're going for the 100 grand base shop. No further ado, let's give it up for the awesome, the amazing Mike and Eva Mackenberg. Woo! Go for it.
Good morning, hierarchy.
That's amazing. Thank you, Coach, so much. I mean, look, guys, obviously you guys are plugged in, but if you're just not like sitting there and like my heart's in my throat, I'm excited, I'm fired up, like I'm like, he's like, what? I'm like, oh my God, like the speakers are phenomenal. Like I feel like I'm sitting front row at a meeting with Coach Alex, and you know, we're like, I don't even go get water. I'm just like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm gonna miss something, you know? So, and then I was cracking up with Leandro's, they said anemic, right? Like I was dying. I'm like, seriously, that's hilarious. So look, you got to learn from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to stay fired up. We're super fired up, man. God is so good. We're super grateful. Zoomland, if you guys are out there, I pray for you guys that you're just so fired up about your life right now, because God is blessing every single one of us just by being healthy and being able to have greatness to plug into. You know what I mean? And of course, I got to give a huge shout out to our incredible coach, just for keeping this thing afloat and helping everybody thrive. Thank you so much, Coach Alex. Seriously, you just are the best of the best. And of course, our incredible team, MacAttack Hierarchy Builders, we love you so much. You guys just keep having a record attendance, and I know you're just staying in your lane, and you're growing every week, and you're growing every month, and you're focusing on so many different areas of you and your business. And that's how we're going to get there, right? And we are going to have a 100-gram base shop. And apparently Coach Alex is going to have a lot of number one teams, because a lot of us are going for the number one, this month and so far and so on. So we're just super excited. We're honored to be in the greatest hierarchy. You know how many hierarchies there are in Primerica? Like a lot, you know what I mean? And we get to be part of the best. Trust you me, if you're new, you are part of the best with the best leadership. So we're just super pumped. And it's so interesting that we didn't talk about with nobody, right? We didn't talk with anybody on what we were going to train on, but it literally goes hand in hand with what we're going to teach on. So you guys are going to hear from this awesome man that just, you're amazing. Like seriously, it's nuts. Like, I mean, talk about just back to back to back to back, looking up to say, wait, did I eat today? Did I, I feel like I got to bring in some food to the office. Like, can I come in? Is there, but that's how you got to be. You got to be on your game. And let me just leave you with this. If you haven't transformed some part of your house into a Zoom meeting place, you're not on your game. Right. I think every area of our house, like we're doing like Saturdays here, it's transformed. Then we go upstairs, it's transformed. Like you got to have an area in your house that is transformed. Right. That means you're going through transformation because you're on your game doing Zoom appointments. But if you haven't even thought about that, you're probably not on your game, right? But every day you get to reset. That's the beauty of Primerica. So man, we love you guys so much. Please take it away, because I know you have crazy, awesome stuff to go through. And I can't wait to hear from you.
God bless you, man. You're amazing. Isn't she lovely? I am so fired up, guys. Brethrens, yeah, gosh, we're number one. Everybody's going to be number one. We're going to be number one, right? Look, I got to say one thing. Look, it's great that we're all competing, and we should, and we love each other. We're going to keep competing with each other. But I tell you one thing, we got to look at the competition scoreboard right now. And I'm looking at other hierarchies and other offices, and they're not better than us, not by far. And they're doing some crazy numbers, and we're coming. But we got to start going after some of these jokers out there that they do this. They don't do it our way, and we're great. We're the best. We got the best leadership ever. Our coach is the most amazing leader ever, and we're got to go after those guys and bring them down. It's all coming. So I'm fired up. I'm excited. Coach, when you were talking about this whole water thing, I'm like, Mr. Miyagi, keep talking. I was like a guy in a church going, hallelujah. That was just a great analogy. I was fired up about all that. Let's start with, that's Mac team. We love you. You guys are great, amazing, amazing. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. Just mark my word, it's coming. It's around the corner. Here's what I want to talk about: how to become an independent producing agent and a trainer. All right. It's funny. Alex also talked about the same thing. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of what I think you need to be focusing on to become an independently producing agent, and as a result, becoming a trainer. I love this one. Says the only way to relieve that pressure is to build your fundamentals, practice them over and over. So when the game breaks down, you can handle anything that transpires. You got to have this over and over and again, this sickening amount of practice and rehearsing. And what saddens me that I don't see a lot of people doing that. Everybody wants greatness. Everybody wants to be the next trainer. Everybody wants, to be the biggest thing out there. Like I'm talking about new people, and I'm talking about people that come on board, and it's great. We want that attitude in you. But the question is, are you putting a massive amount of practice into this whole thing? Are you practicing? Are you drilling? Are you rehearsing over and over and over and over and over again? Are you recording yourself and watching yourself over and over and over again? Look, I see a lot of people, they want to be the trainer, right? And it's good. We want you to be the trainer. They want to be out there, but are you putting the time outside of, the appointment? Yeah, look, you got to do a lot of appointments, but are you putting the time in? Are you preparing in advance? Nothing chaps my hive more than someone who just doesn't take the time and prepare in advance and get their ducks in a row and have everything ready and moving forward. And you know, people that just figure things out last minute, I don't know. That's not how you become an IPA. Sure as heck is not the way you're going to become a trainer. You got to work on that. You got, like I talked about, you record yourself and watch yourself. Do that one time. It is the most horrifying experience in your life. You look at yourself and you go, I sound like crap. I'm not even going to forget about anything. I'm not going to, I want to shut this thing down. I want to shut Zoom down when I listen to this person, right? You got to record yourself these days with all the devices, you know, instead of little selfies and you know, posting stuff. How about we record ourselves and practice and don't post it, right? Just practice, drill and rehearse. Constantly, you got to do that. Are you attending all the meetings? Look, you can't be an IPA. You cannot be a trainer if your butt is not at every Tuesday, every Saturday, and when this whole thing is over, at every big event. You don't get to choose what you want to go to and not go to. You don't go to something because, oh my God, the trainer is great or the trainer is not great. You do it because the principles of winning, ladies and gentlemen, says you must show up and you must practice and you must get better and you must hone your skills consistently. All the RVPs that you have heard them talk and the next RVP, I'll tell you one thing, we have accepted these principles, but especially the fact that we attend all meetings, all right? Are you working on your 7 fundamentals, right? The 7 fundamentals. Are you good? Are you great at prospecting? Are you great at setting appointments? Are you great at presenting, overcoming objections, mastering our services, recruiting across kitchen table or recruiting across Zoom land, right? And of course, getting a new recruit to a fast start. You got to master all these things. That's the only way you're going to become a great IPA on your way to becoming a trainer. Look, right now, if you have a downtime, and many of us have downtime, are you practicing these things? And there's ample of resources available out there for you to become a great trainer, for you to become someone who knows how to set up appointments. Setting up appointments, it's not just a new person's thing. If you've been here since Jesus walked in sandals, are you good at setting appointments? If you're not on appointments, clearly means you're not good at setting appointments yourself, right? Right. That's what I'm talking about. You got to get great at all these things. So look, you got to work on yourself. You got to develop yourself. You got to get better and better and better at this. Are you self-improving daily? Daily. Are you reading? Are you watching some kind of a video? Are you, most importantly, reading a book? You got to start. Look, the person that you are, you're a great person, but you're not meant to be an independently producing or a trainer in the financial services industry yet. The only way you're going to get to that is by self-improving, right? I heard this years ago. I don't know who said it. Maybe Alex said it. Said if you were worth making $1 million, you would be already earning $1 million, right? That's just how the way it works. If you're not, then you're not there yet. So we got to all work, all of us, we got to get better and better and better. Are you getting all your licenses? And yes, all of them. All securities, this, right? Leandro, congratulations. You got your mortgage. We're working on our mortgage, right? All of your licenses. You got to work on that right now. Look, there's downtime and you're not producing. What are you doing if you're not doing these things? What else is there to do, right? I mean, clearly you can't go partying out there. Clearly it's not easy to go to restaurants. You're sitting around house. You got to be doing something, huh? There's only so much gardening you can do. How about we get all our licenses, right? Do you have all your tools? Do you have your apps? Do you have your box closed? Do you know where to go on macandvan.com? Do you know how to use the Zoom? Do you know how to do an F&A? And guys, can I say something? Look, one thing when it comes to business, don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Don't not spend money in the right places. You want to save money, how about eat at home and don't eat outside and don't spend money and don't buy Starbucks and maybe just make your own coffee at home if you want to save money, but don't ever hold back on things that will grow your business. Don't be cheap on Zoom. Don't be cheap on your licenses. Don't be cheap on self-improving. Man, on the whole self-improving things, we used to do, to seminars. Evan and I, we did like 7 or 8 Tom Hopkins seminars. We went to seminars. We spend money. Anybody had anything, we would go. Retreats, this event, that event. And when the world goes back to normal, spend money on the right things. I don't understand how people all of a sudden want to save money and yet they're wasting money on the things that don't matter. But when it comes to their business, they want to save money. Now, if you can get an iPad refurbished, by all means, get an iPad refurbished. Don't get the latest, gazillion gigabytes, whatever. You don't need that. Get the refurbished iPad, but gosh darn it, have an iPad or have a laptop. I hope I'm making sense, right? These are some resources. macandman.com. How about Primerica Online? Anything you need, you could choke a horse with this thing on Primerica Online. How to Master the Art of Selling. Are you guys reading that book? Skills with People. That's a great book. The Lamarck System. Hector Lamarck has an entire system you can get your hands on. How about our meetings, right? There's ample of resources. Look, guys, these meetings shouldn't even be about training you. You should be training yourself. These meetings should be about say, hey, this is what you got to do. Have at it. This meeting should be like literally a half an hour thing. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? All right. These are some resources. All right. Okay. All right. Go. Love you up. That's what we should be doing at all these meetings. Not even training you per se, but we are training you. Does that make sense? And look at this. Look, at every level, you got to look at, what do I need to focus on? We're getting a lot of people district, but are you good at doing certain things? We're getting a lot of people to division and regional. Are you good at some things? If you're a regional leader and you're not producing and you don't have your licenses and you're not, mastering all, by now you regional leaders, you're like an RVP. You got to have everything down, everything. And I hope I'm making sense. And when you don't have everything down, that's when you start getting frustrated. And here's what I'm going to leave you guys with. All this is great and dandy, but at the end of the day, how many other people do you have that are able and willing to do the same thing? I'll tell you one thing, and Coach talked about this earlier. One of the things that was the biggest lesson I had to keep learning. Look, guys, I've always been great at everything. I could do everything. But the question is, how many other leaders and how many other IPAs and how many other trainers do you have in your organization that could do all of the things we talked about despite of you, away from you? How many of those you have? And yes, you got to be great at it. I would say 80%, 90% of the folks watching right now, you're not great at everything yourself yet. You will be, but you got to work on you. But as you're doing that now, how many other people do you have in your organization that are doing the same thing, in your team that are doing the same thing? That's how you grow this thing. And that's how we're all going to be at number one. It's happening, man. This hierarchy will be the biggest hierarchy in the nation. I'm talking about US and Canada. We're going to pulverize everybody.
That's right.
Teammates, let's keep going. I'm just excited. I'm fired up. Proud to be in business with all you guys. Back to you, Coach. Love you.
Wow. Unbelievable. Again, just a wealth of information. So exciting. You can always see why the top people are the top people. They are constantly learning. They don't get to a place and say, okay, I'm done. I'm good. I've learned, right? Every day I wake up and I think, I got to get better. I got to get better. I need to create a gap between myself and my people in terms of ability and knowledge, not in terms of, push them away or no, not like that. But your people need to always look up to you and go, wow, this person is just inspires me to get there. Because I got so much more to learn and so far to go. Anyways, let's pick up our final speakers, and then hopefully I'll have a little bit of time. Man alive, I tell you what, it's hard being number one because everybody's nipping at your heels. Everybody wants to bring you down. It's like you're going down. But this couple, man, they're awesome. They're amazing, and it's funny because when you bust your butt to get to number one, seems like you get the most amount of disrespect. I mean, right? You would think that, hey, we're number one now, so all right, bring on the love. No, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And so when I was number one, I wanted to be so far ahead that people had to, I always say, I want to be number one, where numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, they got to hold hands and just to get up to my level. And I tell you what, this is their attitude. This is the kind of couple that they are. And they are just blowing and going. I'm just so excited for them. I'm just so proud of them. Look at how far they have come in such short time, which means they've collapsed time frames and they're really working on themselves. They're really, really putting their heads down and just becoming coachable and submitting to the teachings of the Legaspes and other people. So proud of them, so excited for them. Love this couple. Can't wait for them to get that $100,000 base going. Give it up for the awesome and the amazing Colares. Take it away.
All right, man. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just so excited this morning, and man, thank you, Coach Alex, for that wonderful introduction. And I just love the competition and this hierarchy. Okay, so thank you guys for having us today, and thank you to our coaches, Chris and Joy Legaspi, for being awesome and for always supporting us and whatever we need in this business. Okay, and quick shout out to our base shop. Guys, we need to stay number one, right? There's a lot of them trying to catch up on us, but hey, it's healthy competition. I love you guys, and but man, I'm just a blessed man to work with each and every one of you, and we're not gonna stop. Mariel and I, we promise you that we are on the grind with you. We're on the battlefield with you. If you get hurt, we patch you up. And but if you win, we're gonna cheer for you. Okay, love you guys. So let me get this started so I can get this thing going. And you know what I love about Saturdays is you get to learn. You get to learn because you build people. You build this business by building people. Okay, but you cannot build people if you're not built yourself. Okay, so you do not dismiss any information that could help you grow yourself and your business and for your people. Okay, so you got to think long term. All right. So and I was reading this book, and thank you, Ash, for for your training that you need to be a good connector to people. See, being part of a great recruiter is being part of a great storyteller. There was one training that I watched at PFN, and they recommended this book, Building a Story Brand, and it's great. So what I want to share with you guys today is a quick summary of it. Okay, so here we go. Let me share you my screen, and I'm gonna pass by through this. Okay, here we go. Let me maximize it. All right. There we go. Okay. So, guys, so this says, so when you're in front of somebody, okay, and you're in front of a potential recruit or a client. See, in a story, let me highlight this stuff. See, in a story, right? Audience must always have your audience must always know who the hero is, what the hero wants, who the hero has to defeat to get what they want, what tragic thing will happen if the hero doesn't win, and what wonderful thing will happen if they do. Okay, see, if an audience can answer these basic questions, they'll check out and the movie will lose millions at the box office. See, this is very relevant right now. See, if you were going through Zoom meetings, right? It's like watching a movie. They watch a monkey perform on the other end. Okay, so you gotta feel them entertained and focus on your prospects and focus on your clients because it's not about you. Sometimes we always talk about ourselves. Yes, you need to master your own story, like Ash said. Yeah, you need to master your 5-minute story. So what did he say? 5 minutes. Okay, not the whole hour talking about yourself because you need to focus on your client. See. Now, who the hero is? Your customer should be the hero of the story, okay? Not your brand. This is the secret every phenomenal successful business understands, okay? See, now, your role, okay, as a marketer or as a recruiter is to act as a guide in your customer's story. They say you're Yoda and your customer is Luke Skywalker. Talk more about the customer and less about yourself, okay? Then talk about their goals and your achievements and your customer. You won't feel they won't feel like a hero. Okay, so you need to get a spotlight and put the spotlight on your people. You need to ask more questions about what's about their life. Okay, where do they see themselves 5-10 years from now? Right? See, imagine this when you I know a lot of people are notorious in this and. If you have a group photo, okay, when you see a group photo, who do you look at first? Yourself, right? Don't lie. You always look at yourself if there's a group photo, right? So and sometimes it doesn't matter how terrible the other people in that picture, you're still gonna post that on Facebook as long as you look good in that photo. Okay. See, guys, and that's the same thing with our clients. Okay, and even at your team. See, right now, when you teach your team something and you tell them, hey, I want you to get promoted, right? I mean, do you really ask them what's their goals? Okay. See, what does the hero want? And let me get my paper real quick. Okay. So what does the hero want, right? See, you should be able to pause a great film after the first 10 minutes and know exactly what the hero wants, okay? See, look at this. If The Bourne Identity were a movie, okay, about a spy named Jason Bourne searching for his true identity, but it also included scenes of Bourne trying to lose weight, marry a girl, pass the bar exam, win in Jeopardy, and adopt a cat, the audience would lose interest. Okay, so you focus on one thing, and that's what Rick Susie talks about in this book. When you are actually sitting down on a client, you build an imaginary box, right? That your focus is just on them. See see in our business, your client wants what? I mean, they want conserve and save money, right? And they want to make more money. Okay, do you talk about freedom of time? And if they have money, how about increase in status? Okay, how about improving their lifestyle currently what they have, right? And most people, they want to connect and help others. Okay, so guys, we need to we need to focus on those people. Okay, and moving forward, who does the hero have to defeat? Okay, and this is where your overcoming objections come to place. Okay, because most people, they have to defeat what? They have to overcome the comfort of their jobs. I mean, guys, I mean, if they're, I mean, look what's happening right now. How many people lost their jobs? Okay, see, tell me, if they're still depending on that one stream of income, okay, and another catastrophe happens, man, they're gonna be on a deeper hole. All right. So and one of my fears coming into this business is public speaking. See, this is not normal to me. Speaking on Zoom and you know, and training a bunch of awesome people, right? This is not normal to me. Okay. See, when I first got into the business and it was my turn, okay, it was my turn to speak. Marielle had to bail me out, okay, because I couldn't do it. I'm like, man, you know, I was trying to get ready. And but luckily my wife and I, right, are in this together. So what I love about the business is because of the partnership. She actually spoke for me. Okay, see, but in order for me to grow, in order for me to you know, to say, you know what, let's go after it, I need to do a lot of self-development. Okay, see, how many books do you read in a day? See, a lot of people now, they have a lot of excuses, but look at this. If we want our customers' ears to perk up when we talk about our products and services, we should position those products and services as weapons. Okay, they can use to defeat a villain, and the villain should be the Starly. Okay, they have to be cruel. Okay, see, you guys, our products and services are great, but the best part in our business, the best product we have is the hope and opportunity that we give people that they can be somebody. Okay, and see, what tragic thing will happen? Okay, see, what tragic thing will happen if the hero doesn't win? See, you need to paint a picture, okay, at your clients. You need to paint a picture to your client's imagination that if they don't join your team, if they don't pursue if they don't get our products and service, what's going to happen in their lives? Okay, see, it hurts me that when the people that I know, okay, and somebody passes away, okay, and they don't have life insurance, they do GoFundMe, right? And that's why we need to get our game up, okay, because our ability to turn a no to a yes, and that's what would dictate your career here in Primerica. That's what would dictate, okay, your income. And I'm so glad when Denise shared their story, right? Because they're so good at the business, they're able to protect those families and save them from financial devastation. Okay, guys. See, if Marielle and I didn't get recruited in this business, by the way, you know, all of us here in this meeting right now, in this conference, each and every one of us got recruited. Okay. I don't know, it's maybe 1 in 100,000 that somebody will knock on your door at your Primerica office and say, hey, I want to get recruited. Okay, no, each and every one of us got recruited in this business by somebody. So we love recruiting. Why are we not talking to people? Okay, see, you need to be a great storyteller. You need to tell them the consequences if they don't join your business. Okay, see, clarify the fear of doing nothing. Okay, See, if you do nothing, what would change? Nothing. Okay, so you need to get that dash of hope to people. Okay, that what you were doing before, or what we're doing now, will not take you. Okay, will not take you to wherever you want to be, where you want to be at. Okay, see, in our business, that's why recruiting is so important, because I promise you, the team that you have now, okay, has gotten you as far as they can. The team that you have now has gotten you as far as they can, which I love my team, dearly, but we understand and they understand, okay, that the team that they have will not take them to where they want. See, that's why we constantly need to grow. We constantly need to grow ourselves, grow our numbers, and grow our team, okay? And just tell them on the fact that, who the person that they can become, okay? The things that they can achieve. See, but never assume people understand your brand can change their lives. You need to tell them. See, closed mouth here in Primerica don't get fed, okay? And I was listening to a PFN last Monday, and there's one thing that they shared, and they said, see, Primerica is a contact sport. Before everything happened, pandemic happened, you build a relationship with your teammate, right? By eating out and then stopping by. And right now we can't do that, okay? See, if you decrease the contact, you need to increase the communication. How many Zoom meetings did you have? How many phone calls do you make? How many text messages? How many emails do you constantly make every single day? Okay, see, guys, you need to plant seeds. You need to, right now, okay, you need to keep in contact and in communication with everybody. Okay, so guys, now there's about, let me stop my sharing real quick. There we go. Look at this. This is the power of the team. There's about 319 locations right now. Okay, and when Alex McInvan said, our coach said, this is the month that we're going to beat, right? Our record month. 318 locations, 3 days left. If each and every one of us, the 318 locations, let's just say if we do one by one, right? One by one. We're not asking a lot, right? Challenge yourself one by one in the next 3 days. That's about 300 by 300 in the next 3 days. Okay, if we do 2 by 2, 300 locations, 300 connections, that's 600 by 600 in the next 3 days. All right, you guys, man, I love you. Alex, you can count on us, and we're gonna do our part. And man, let's go tear it up. Love you guys. I hope you learned a thing or two this morning. And God bless you all.
Man, that's awesome. Great job, as always. Unbelievable training, unbelievable training. Guys, let me read you some numbers here. This is, as of right now, the top 4 base shops in our hierarchy. Leandro and Cheryl at number 4, they're 39,411. Number 3 are Denise and Art Escoto, 39,854. So that's about a $440 difference. $443. That's like one sale, half a sale. That was number 3. Number 2, Mike and Eva at 41,481. And number 1 are the Calaras at 43,199. I think they just went up. Yeah, somebody must have written a sale on their team just now. I love it. Anyways, so, and we have obviously a bunch of other folks in the hierarchy, but these 4 can get to 50,000. So Leandro and Cheryl, 39 to 50. Denise and Art, 39 to 50. Mike and Eva, 41 to 50. And Marielle and Ryan, 43 to 50. So we can have 4 base shops at 50,000, and then these 4 base shops or other base shops that are going to come from behind, they could be at 100,000 in no time. In no time. Let me read you guys the top regionals real quick. So we have a bunch of regionals doing, the 10s, the 12s, the 14s. The top 3 are as follows. The number 3, Nanette and Joe Aceto, are at 16,450. They're number 3 right now. Number 2 all of a sudden jumps. Number 2, these are regional leaders, guys. Number 2 are Katie and Tony out of Dallas Fort Worth with the Escotos. They're at 30,294. And number 1, James and MJ, great job. James and MJ are beating the Lomellis with 300 and like $30. I love it. I love it. 330. I mean, right? It's so small. The difference between number one and number two is so small. It's too scary to talk about. That's what Art Williams used to always say. So number one, number two are both over 30,000. Let's see if number one, number two, they can get themselves to 35 to 40,000 this month. That's how it's done. If you're ever wondering how do you get to a $100,000 base shop, you get regional leaders that are doing 30, 40, 50 that are going for it, that they don't expect to just do little numbers, just barely hit the numbers and then just go, right? They don't expect to go out that way. They want to go out big. They want to go out at the top of the leaders boards. They want to beat everybody in their state. Number one regional leader. That's how you get big base shops. Anything other than that, people that are going for RVP, people that want to do it big, people that don't expect to go out with the bare minimum. Anything other than that, you're never going to get a big base shop. See how that works? By the way, that works at regional leader. You got a bunch of people that are going for district, bunch of people going for divisions, bunch of people going for their promotions, bunch of field trainers and IPAs out there, trainers that are training new people, and bunch of people getting their field training bonuses. So it all goes hand in hand, and that's how you get a big base shop. And once you get a big base shop going, it's the easiest thing to maintain. When I ran my 70, 80, 100 grand base, that was so much easier to run than running a 20 grand base and a 30 grand base. I promise you that, because you have so many people, so much activity that's going on. So I wish that on you, those of you that are always seems like you're always struggling, seems like it's always just you. If you work your tail off, something happens. If you don't, it doesn't. It's because you have great people, wonderful people, but you don't have the right people that are going for RVP, that are going for the next promotion, and that they want to do it big. And I promise you, if you don't have those people right now, you can find them. Or maybe you have them, they just haven't risen to the surface. They haven't shown themselves yet, but you got them there, or you got to go get them. Okay, so let me kind of finish with this. I've got, I'm out of time. Well, if you guys got to go, you got to go, but I want to share something important with you. And it's this concept. I want to work on your thinking for a minute. And it goes something like this. Let me see if I can get this out right. I want to compare physical pain with emotional pain. I want to compare the two. And I want you to think for a moment that those two things aren't really that different. Pain is pain, but we give them really different values. We really put them in different categories. For example, if I work out really hard and I do some weights, if I do a hard upper body exercise one day, I'm going to be hurting for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 days after that. Doesn't matter how much of a shape you're in. If you take your body to the next level, your body's going to be sore. So there's pain involved. But I promise you, almost everybody that experiences physical pain from having gone through the rigmarole, having been pushed to the next level, they love it. You ever feel sore and then you go, oh, that's right. Oh, no, I'm sore, but oh yeah, that's right, because I worked out hard. And that's one of the most wonderful pains. I mean, I don't know if you could say wonderful and pain in the same sentence next to each other, but you know what I mean? It's the kind of pain where everybody loves having, everybody loves to talk about. But now let's take that to emotional pain, where your coach maybe jumps down your throat, or your coach maybe calls you out. And maybe your coach tells you, hey, buddy, this thing you're doing is wrong. You're not doing it right. Well, that's pushing you to the next level, and you're going to be sore. You're going to be sore. You're not going to like it. And maybe that soreness will last a minute, an hour, a day, a week. For some of you, that soreness lasts 10 years. I've jumped down somebody's throat, not even directly, maybe not even called them out, but mentioned in a meeting their bad behavior, which was, by the way, other people's bad behaviors as well. And that person just kind of spun out of control and went down a black hole, and never to be seen again and never to be heard from again. And they are so mad and they're so upset. See, You're not seeing things as they are. Here you work your muscle and you get physical pain and then you're sore. Here you work your emotional muscle. See, when you lift a weight and then the next day you're sore, you're not mad at the weight, are you? You just know that that's the consequence of being pushed to the next level. You just know it. You go, oh man, as a matter of fact, I love that soreness. But when the emotional weight, the emotional coach pushes you, your emotional muscle, and now your emotional muscle got hurt and it's a little bit sore or a lot sore, what do? You blame the coach. You blame the emotional weight that you lifted. Now we got to put things in perspective and we got to understand that these things really are the same and we got to start to treat them the same. When you get your butt burned, when you're walking around butt hurt, you got to go, oh, wow, I just got pushed. My emotional muscle just got pushed to a higher level. And so I'm going to feel some soreness for a while. And so I'm going to get stronger because of it. And I'm going to get better because of it. See, guys, the average person avoids the gym like the plague. Now, I'm going back to physical pain. Let's just face it. The reason America is getting fatter and fatter and fatter and more out of shape is because getting into shape hurts. It's plain and simple. It's plain and simple. It hurts because you gotta limit your intake. You gotta stop eating junk food. You gotta stop snacking. You gotta start eating the clean food. That's on the intake side. Then on the output side, you got to start doing cardio. You got to start doing weights. You got to start doing sit-ups and chin-ups and all kinds of ups. Everything that tends to want to go down, you got to fight it and you got to bring it back up. And so the average person avoids that like the plague. Or they go one time, never to be seen at the gym again. They don't blame the gym and they don't blame the weights, but they still run away from feeling any kind of discomfort. And society is teaching that, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. Don't you dare say something to me that makes me feel bad, because I don't want to grow emotionally. I want to stay this little emotional child. I'm just a child and I don't want to grow. Don't you dare, don't you dare. I will call my congressman and my senator and I will bring you down. I will cancel you. Huh? Am I hitting some buttons here? Some of you already logged off because you're like, I don't need this. I don't need to take this. See how it is? Look, whenever you feel discomfort from the words that you hear, now I'm not talking about being racist or just being rude or just being downright mean. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about stuff that hits us right here in the forehead because it hits us because they're true, because we're behaving a certain way, because we're acting a certain way that are not winning ways, and we are in a winning environment. We are gladiators and we've stepped into this arena. And there's no crying in baseball, and there's no crying in Primerica. And if you cry, then get your tears out and have a good cry and get up and keep going. That's how winning is done, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it works. I've had my butt burned and my lunch handed to me and my tail handed to me countless times. You're going to get checked. You're going to get called out. I get checked constantly. I don't like it. But when it happens, I go, ooh, I just got you. Ooh, whoosh. Oh man, the best way I can think of getting checked, getting body checked is ice hockey. You're just skating along and then bam, you get checked. You get checked and then whoa, you're knocked out and then you get up, you're like, whoa, what just happened? Oh, okay, I see. I get checked constantly. It doesn't matter how little you are in business or how big you are in business, how poor you are, how rich you are, how much money you make. It's your attitude towards it. If you're getting checked, if someone's checking you and their purpose behind it is to help you and to empower you and to elevate you, then have the right attitude about it. If you got the wrong attitude, you're going to be on the wrong receiving end. You're going to receive this stuff the wrong way. If you have the right attitude, you're not going to like it. It's still going to feel sore, but you're going to go, oh, I love the soreness. I love the soreness. I just got checked. I just got called out. Are you guys with me on this? I hope this stuff helps. That was weighing on my heart. I just needed to get it out. And I know some of you like it, some of you love it, some of you hate it. And it is what it is. And if you think a call is a talk that I give is only about you, boy, you gotta get over yourself. Get over yourself. Do I see bad behavior in you? Yeah, but does that bad behavior apply to you and hundreds of other people? Yes. And that's what a coach does. A coach watches the behavior and watches the performance and knows that if this person is doing it wrong, chances are others are suffering from the same syndrome and the same symptom. And so the coach jumps down everybody's throat. I'm an equal opportunity throat jumper. How's that? How's that? I'm colorblind, gender blind, lifestyle blind. You do something that's not the right thing for you, I'm going to jump down your throat. I'm going to call you out. And it ain't about you. It's about a bunch of people. Stop thinking that you are the center of the universe, that it's all about you. It ain't all about you. Thank you for acting badly so I could be reminded to tell everybody. Think of it that way. You're helping me coach you and everybody else. I hope that made sense. Guys, I love you all. Listen, so we got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday till midnight. Now it's midnight East Coast time, 9 p.m. our time. But you know, if we have to, we could probably, if you do something between 9 and midnight our time, we could probably get it pushed to July if you absolutely need it. If not, let it go for next month. But we got 3 days. We got 2 nights and 3 days, really 3 nights and 3 days. And let's see who's got what. Let's see what you're made of. Let's see what you got. Let me finish with this, with the numbers real quick. I know some of you got to go. You got to go. You got to go. What can I say, right? So here's the final numbers. So we have 557 people that texted in. I know we could do 600. I know some of you have not texted in yet. But here we go. You guys ready? Because here I come. Abugs, California, 32 people checked in. Awesome. Awesome. My Base Shop, 21 people. Cabayas, 21 people. Wow, this old guy and Cabaya, young team, young RVPs, we got the same amount of attendance. What's up with that? That ain't right. If I do 21, you guys got to make me the lowest attendance ever. I'm at 21,000 a premium. I should be the lowest premium ever. I'm the old retired guy. Remember, I got some studly people in my Base Shop. Right, but if I do 20, I should be the last guy in the hierarchy. Come on, you guys, start getting your thinking right. Calara's 18. Wow, I beat the number one Base Shop in the hierarchy. I beat him in attendance. What's up with that? Coros 12. Crisella and Darwin 9. Escoto 16. With all that recruiting they're doing, how do you only get 16 people attending? What's up with that? See, I just called them out. Now they can walk around all butthurt, or they can go to work and fix it. See how that works, you guys? Gene and Mila, 27. Gigi, 16. Gus and Daisy, 43. That's growing. That's great. JC and Charisse, 18. Cons, 9. Carl and Jenny, 26. Kevin and Carissa, 13 out of Vegas. Leandro and Cheryl, 39. The Legaspes, 21. Mike and Eva, ooh, you ready for this? Drum roll, 71. Right? They know how to get people to op night, and they know how to get people to Saturdays. And watch, if my theory is right, number one attendance will be the number one Base Shop in the hierarchy. You mark my words. And if I'm wrong, then sue me, right? The Medina, 16. Melvin and Cora, 6. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Hang in there. Nelson and Trisha, 2. The Pardos, 22. Really? All right. Perez's 8. Romero's 11. Ash and Sahar 40. They're coming up. Sammy 13. New Mexico connection. Todd and Cheryl 1. The Woods 16. Zafra 6. And the Zatinos 14. And I know those numbers they're not final yet. Final. People are still checking in. But guys, listen, man, let's finish strong. Let's have a record month. We're at about 500,000 premium right now. We can get to 600,000. I know we can do it in the next 3 days. I want all hands on deck. Let's have a blast. Let's blow this thing wide open. And then we're going to go the journey from 600,000 to $1 million of premium. And in that process, we will produce at least $2, $3, $4 million earners. We'll have at least a dozen $500,000 earners. See how that goes? Right now, we're at 500,000 of premium. We are the same cash flow, team cash, as somebody who's almost at 900,000. Look it up. 900,000 of premium. We're at 500,000. I think our team cash is only like 10,000 apart. That's how good we are. But that is not an excuse for us to not do 800,000, to not do $1 million. Imagine if at 500,000 we're beating everybody in team cash. What's going to happen when we get to $1 million in premium? We will pulverize them. We will vaporize them. Are you kidding me right now? Come on, you guys. Enough is enough. And if they can do 800, 900,000 of premium, so can we. Except we're going to do it the right way, the clean way. We're not going to write one sale and have 2 sales charged back. That's not how we do business. I love you all, each and every one of you, even those of you that I jumped down your throat. I love you even more. I love you especially. But that's not going to prevent me from fixing your behavior. All right, guys? I'll see everybody Tuesday and Wednesday and all the op nights next week. And don't forget, Monday night at midnight is our final. I'll see you all. Love you all. See you at the top. God bless.